I think that's exactly a very good synopsis. Odd is one word for it. Weird might be another. It doesn't feel like the usual Davos. The way I would describe, and the reason is pretty obvious. Obviously, the inauguration of Donald Trump, not only has it overshadowed in terms of the story, everything is about the Trump agenda and how it relates to. So you haven't got people here that might have been here previously. They're in Washington or they're doing something else. But you have a bifurcation. You have a group of people here who are involved in business, finance, hedge funds, crypto, AI. They're cock a hoop because the administration's new policies are going to absolutely put that on steroids for growth. But the other side of Davos, I know we talk about the elites, but the other side of Davos is the social policy area, whether it be clean water, healthcare, gender issues, anything relating to the environment, climate change. That's always, always, always a fundamental part, poverty, a fundamental part of Davos, because they are the issues of the global economy. Those people are walking around like they've been hit over the head with a piece of wet fish. So because they see the Washington shift as being very negative for them.
Who have you been speaking to? We know who's not there. The President of the United States is not there, but it's a decent lineup. Who have you been following?
Well, it's an extremely impressive lineup. You've got Olaf Scholz of Germany. You had van der Leyen of the European Commission. I was talking today to the Saudi tourism minister. We've got the Prime Minister of Albania. I've had conversations with the President of Finland, the Bank of America CEO, on and on and on. So yes, there are a lot of people here, but everybody's working out how the change in Washington affects the agenda. It's often not as venal or, if you will, Machiavellian about my money, my industry. It's how the agenda changes as a result. Take DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. The fact that the federal government has changed its policy in the US. Well, the CEO of Bank of America says, I've got 200,000 employees. My policy hasn't changed. They are asking me, what's my policy? It hasn't changed. But I said to him, well, yeah, but hang on. The fact the federal government has changed, that sends a tonal message. And you start to see, Richard, I wish it was as simple as Trump good, Trump bad. Ukraine good, Ukraine bad. It's not. It's nuanced. It is policy. It is messy. It is very difficult to work out what's happening.
When you talked about speaking to a Saudi minister there, obviously sitting in Dubai, we're interested in the local contingent. I saw Khaldun Mubarak from Mubadala was there, Abdullah bin Tukar,
Yeah.
and many others. What's the presence like?
Huge, absolutely huge. You're talking about those who have taken part in major panels on global economy. On the promenade just behind me, you've got the various chalets and shops, and they take over things. The Emirates has got a vast one. Neom takes over several shops, a huge presence. Qatar, I believe, I mean, I'm about to be wrong, has the biggest chalet that it's had here, and they're all in prime locations. So yes, there is the delegations. I've met the Bahraini delegation. There's a lot of presence here, and indeed, when you talk to the other delegates and people here, they say, well, yes, the Middle East is the Gulf is exceptionally active and exciting economically, and that's where the action is. So why are they here? Because that's where the action is.
Finally, this is the World Economic Forum. It's not post Klaus Schwab, but he is taking a bit of a backseat now. How does that change things, Richard? Or maybe it doesn't.
No, I think it does. I think it's a very good question. I interviewed him. He's taken a backseat. Bergen is the sort of the former foreign minister of Norway. I think it is the new sort of face of. But Klaus Schwab, as he said, told me 55 years of doing it. It's going to change. There will still be a WEF because there needs to be the space for discussion. But I question whether or not who will be the strong totemic leader of this organization in the future. If they think they've got it already, I'm not sure they have. I think that there will need to be that figurehead figure that people look to. Yes, absolutely.
Richard, any skiing this week, or is it just down to
Oh, no,
business?
ridiculous. In 25 years of being here, I've skied for the camera. I have never once had a decent day skiing. And I'll tell you something. If you are a skier, Richard, I don't know whether you or the family ski, but if you are a skier, this is the week to be here because the slopes are empty. You admit you've got to find your accommodation, but there's nobody up there. And I go down in the morning and I see all these, for want of a better word, kids looking jubilant as if they've got their lights on and they're going off up to the hills and they look at me like a pityingly old pensioner. Here's me going off to improve the state of the world. Meanwhile, they're going off to improve the state of their skiing.